name is Kitsune, and before starting this video I'd like to talk about something. As you may already have heard, English isn't my mother tongue. In fact, it's French, and so I will probably make a lot of mistakes in grammar and pronunciation. As a matter of fact, I'd like you guys to help me improve my English. I also want to say something about my channel. I will post videos about games and anime. Now, let's get started with the visual novel named Katawa Shoujo, made by 4 Leaf Studios. A light breeze causes the naked branch overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couple in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here, anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Ah yes, the note, slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches goes, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest make it seem like time has slowed to crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Isao? You came? Hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turned to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. That's pretty cute. You wanna go? I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours. Damn it, I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line and that was the result. Pathetic. Yes, I asked. Okay, I'm not going to give myself a girl voice. That's just going to be awkward. Anyway, I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that made me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. Oh god, my heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst out of my chest and claim this girl for itself. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Iwanako flinches over so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine and she lazily twirls her long dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know. Oh my god, if you'd go out with me. Oh my god. I stand there, motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Isao? I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Isao? My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Isao! Ah! The beating in my chest suddenly stops and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me, all these fade to black. The last thing I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. Ah, that was interesting. Beep, beep, beep. Inspiration, Raita. Writing, Anonymous 22. Huh. Yeah. Kick up. By the way, the music in this game is pretty nice. Yeah, it's relaxing. Like, yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah. What the F is supposed to? Is that supposed to be? Clock. That clock. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. Oh my god. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one end. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of times to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. A strange word, a foreign, alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently, I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. What the heck is that? I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Your parents are kinda awesome. Anyway, no. Yeah, of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. That's that must hurt. Anyway, my dad's snoozing in the other room. Yeah, anyway, maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited, anyway. We didn't touch the subject of that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurse feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they are in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So, I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. I still asked the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through. Okay, where was I? I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I will go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked with the book in my hand. But I loved stories. That that was my life. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in the realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me will painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book will start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest will become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I could not even cry. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he is trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. Party!